the stars.
The reporter checks the stock exchange, the stores. Business at a standstill. Doesn't pay to buy anything today. How if the world's going to end tomorrow? There are predictions of economic collapse in the financial section. Layoffs in the factories on the edge of the city. Through the streets, the people mill and turn. Unsure. Crying in fear or shouting with bravado. But the story isn't here, in the city. And so as the hour approaches, the reporter goes again to the observatory, high in the hills.
Now look, Dr. Anton, if you are right, if the world is going to be destroyed, what's the difference if I stay here and observe and take notes?
Oh, nothing, I suppose, but you'll be in the way. We have work to do.
All right, if I stay out of the way.
I can't help it. You'll have to leave, Mr. Down.
Hello. Hello, Dr. Sharon. This place is like a morgue. It's freezing outside. The wind is enough to hang icicles on your nose. Beta doesn't seem to give any heat at all. It's so far away.
Why aren't you in the hideout, Sharon?
Me? I'm part of the race that isn't worth perpetuating. Who's got a bottle?
There'll be no alcohol today. It'll be too easy to get my men drunk. I can't afford to tempt them. Well, all right, Darwin, you can stay, but keep out of the way.
Well, thank you, Doctor.
Well, gentlemen, I think it's time we took our positions. The observatory dome is up these stairs.
Yes, sir. After you, Doctor. What's that?
Dome, quick!
What is it?
Plates! Photographic plates are all smashed.
There he is.
He's going to the telescope. After him.
I've got it.
No. This must be destroyed.
It must be.
It's all right. He didn't harm anything. Let him up.
Well, that's the high priest, Dr. Reynolds. Soares is his name. I was talking to him yesterday.
What do you want, Sor?
Nothing, and you would give me of your own free will.
I made a bargain with the cult to give me certain data you had. In return, I promised to prove the essential truth of the creed.
There's no need to prove that. It stands proved by the doctrine of revelations.
I offered scientific backing for you believers.
You made of the darkness of the stars a natural phenomenon, removed all its real significance. That was blasphemy.
The facts exist.
Your facts are a fraud and a delusion.
How do you know?
I know.
I suppose you think in trying to warn the world against the menace of madness, we are placing souls in jeopardy. Well, we have not succeeded, if that makes you feel better.
Your devilish instruments must be destroyed. We obey the will of the stars.
Someone call the police in Zero City.
There's no time for that. Let me handle this. The eclipse is only a few minutes away. Look, Saw, will you give your word of honor to cause no trouble?
I will not.
Listen, just as soon as the eclipse starts, we're going to take you and put you in a closet with the door closed, and you'll stay there. Then you won't see the darkness, and you won't see the stars. And that means the loss of your immortal soul, according to the cult. All right now, will you give your word of honor?
You have it. You will all be damned. Deeds of today. Look, Tanner. Yes, sir. Take the explosives cabinet.
We will, sir. You're shaking, Mr. Denham. Well, I don't feel very well, that's all. You're not losing your nerve?
No, I'm just not used to this.
You could probably make the hideout.
Look, I've been assigned to cover a story and intend to cover it.
Professional honor?
Yeah. Might be my right arm for a bottle right now. I need a drink.
What's that? The cultist. That's the doctrine of revelations.
I don't understand it.
He's chanting some old cycle language. The doctrine of revelations was originally written in it. There are probably 2 million people in Saddle City who are trying to join the cult. One gigantic revival.
Dr. Sharon, how did the cultists manage to keep the doctrine of revelations going from cycle to cycle? If everyone goes mad, who wrote this doctrine?
There are some people who don't see the stars. The blind. They would have memories, and that, combined with the confused, incoherent babbling of the mad, form the basis for the doctrine of revelations. The cult will be riding high down there in the city. I hope they make the most of it.
Dr. Sharon. Dr. Sharon. I've just heard from hideout on private line.
You're in trouble?
They are safe, but the city is in shambles. You have no idea.
Get worse? What are you shaking about, Doctor? How do you feel?
I don't understand. The cultists are rousing the people to storm the observatory. promising them salvation, promising them anything.
How long till the total eclipse?
An hour. I'm going to check those plans.
It's a gamble. It'll take time to get a mob out here. If the darkness comes first, we're all right. Later.
Yeah.
It's cutting half. It's getting darker. An interesting phenomenon.
The collar suddenly tight.
Are you having any difficulty in breathing?
No. Why?
Difficulty in breathing is one of the first symptoms we've experimented.
I'm cold. Seems to be getting colder.
Better keep our minds on something else.
Yeah.
One of the astronomers has a theory on the stars. He thinks they may be suns that are too far away to see in the light. He developed a fantasy about a planet revolving around one sun. It's a mathematical possibility. Of course, there couldn't be any light. Part of the planet would always be dark and without light. Well, it's obvious. Without light, there can't be any life.
It's time for the artificial light. We can't read the instruments.
Artificial light. One of the researchers in the university worked it out. It's animal grease packed around a wick. Here, I light it with this spark.
Why, it's beautiful. Yellow light. After 4 hours of red. It's beautiful. Light. Light.
The dome is quiet. The priest in his yellow robe sways slowly as his lips move in the ancient tongue. Over and over he whispers the invocation to the stars. The technicians hunch over the instruments, and the sky gradually turns a horrible, deep purple red. The air grows denser. Dusk, like a palpable enters the room. The dancing circle of yellow lights of the torches edges itself into ever sharper distinction against the ever-gathering grayness beyond. Outside, Beta is a mere smoldering splendor, taking a last look at the world. The western horizon in the direction of the city is lost in darkness, and along the highway to the observatory surges a menacing, shadowy mass.
The mob from the city. They're coming.
How long till total eclipse?
15 minutes. That mob will be here in 5.
We'll hold them off. Come on, Ferryman, downstairs.
No, wait a minute. There's no light down there.
We have to block the door. Come on.
I can't breathe. I can't go down there.
Take a torch. We take light with us. Come on. Adam!
I'm here. Did you bar the door?
They won't get in.
All right now, everybody. 1 minute till totality. 1 minute. Just before totality, I'm changing the plate. That will leave one of you for each camera. Now remember, if you feel yourself going, get away from the camera. It's dark. It's getting dark, Sharon. Sharon, where are you? I can't see you.
I'm right here.
30 seconds.
Look out, the priest.
I can't see him.
And the wicked shall perish, and the souls of the true believers shall be transported in glory to the stars.
You can see him against the torch.
Don't let him get to the telescope.
From the stars there reach down a heavenly flame, and when he touches, the cities of the world flame to utter destruction.
Grab him, grab him.
I'll take care of him. The world must be destroyed by the stars.
I got it.
5 seconds to totality. 4, 3, 2, 1.
The sky is black, and through it shine stars. 30,000 minute suns shine down in soul-searing splendor. It's more frightening in its awful indifference than the bitter wind that shivers across the horrible, cold, bleak world.
The stars. The stars! The stars! The walls! The walls are coming in on me! They're coming in! Light!
Darkness. Forever, never, never. The walls are breaking in. We did not know. We did not know. We did not know.
On the horizon, in the direction of a city, a crimson glow begins growing. 1,000 fires strengthen in brightness that is not the glow of the sun. 1,000,000 fires, as a world mad in the darkness screams in terror for the light. The night has come again. You have just heard another adventure into the unknown world of the future. A world of...
Dimension X.
With this program, Dimension X concludes the present series. We hope to return to the air in the near future. Watch your local newspaper and listen to your local station for the resumption of the series. Dimension X is presented, transcribed each week by the National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Street & Smith, publishers of the magazine Astounding Science Fiction. Today, Dimension X has presented Nightfall, written for radio by Ernest Kinoy, from the story by Isaac Asimov. Featured in the cast were Lyle Sudrow as the reporter, Cameron Prudhomme as the astronomer, and John McGovern as the psychologist. Your host, Norman Rose. Music by Bert Behrman. Dimension X is produced by William Welch and directed by Fred Dway.
You're listening to Radio Class.
Yeah, they said when we're ready for Shirley.
Or the frescoes. One of each on Cokes.
I don't know how they managed to do it, but somehow they all end up with barcodes on them.
Yeah, they somehow figured that out. And then I got a big thing of water in there.
Which I don't scan.
Okay.
Because I already
Yeah, okay. I'm tapping my code. Ready? All right.
that doesn't track.
What?
Diet Coke on there says half liter.
That ain't right, I don't think. It's just a...
You can understand my confusion.
Did it? Okay, it still rang up as $5 or something. Yeah.
3 for $15, so that part at least tracks, but that name
Yeah.
does not look right.
All right. Did it not take the card or something?
I guess it did not.
Did it have tap?
Yeah,
See it.
favors the left side of the screen on ours. Did you see about Coke or the Diet Coke 6 times on this?
It's ringing up as a liter or something like that.
Yeah.
It's still the same.
That doesn't look right. I think it's priced correctly, but I don't think that's quite right.
It rang up. All right, that's everything. All right.
Little lady, if you were born a man,
the Cleveland Browns. And then he paid my tab, y'all. Thank you guys. My name's Molly Carney.
3 years ago, I farted on Jessica Simpson. Yeah. It's a story I have to now tell because I don't want people thinking I just go around crop dusting celebrities. She earned it. She earned every bit of it. And I did it defending our fair city. I was living in Los Angeles for a little while. I had to fly home to Cincinnati, last minute things. It was Thanksgiving. I found a cheap flight. It was red eye. Left LA about 1 a.m. Stopped in Texas for just a little bit, and then that same plane continued on to Cincinnati. And the airport was pretty empty that time of night, but I did notice after I gave the woman my ticket and started to walk down to get onto the plane that the girl standing directly in front of me was Jessica Simpson. And at the time, she was married to Nick Lachey, who of course is from here in Cincinnati. He's always had a house here. He's seen around town at sporting events, at nightclubs. His whole family was here. It was Thanksgiving. I thought maybe that's where she's going. And just making conversation while we're stuck in the jetway, I said, "Are you going to Cincinnati?" And she goes, "No. Why would I ever go to Cincinnati?" And in my head, I was like, well, aside from the list of things I just came up with, is that a crazy question to ask anyone getting on a plane that's going to end up in Cincinnati? But I kept my cool. I really did. I was like, "I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to pry." I said, "I thought maybe you're going to visit your husband for the holidays." I said, "I'm a stand-up comedian. I've actually met him on several occasions. He's always been a really cool guy." And she goes, "I'm sure you've met my husband." And I was like, "No, you didn't." I was very upset. You know, I nor anyone else ever deserves to be treated that way. I don't care who you are or how many times I've photoshopped myself into pictures of you I've downloaded off the internet. That's not the point. I'm a human being. And I probably would have been able to get over it if I were sitting anywhere else on the plane. But she's in the last row of first class. I'm one row back in coach and across the aisle. So every time I just glance to my left, I see her laying there sleeping, and I'm like, all I can think about were my friends back here in Cincinnati. The whole time I lived in Hollywood, the only thing they ever asked me was, "Have you met anyone famous?" Now I had, and what was I going to say? Yeah, she wasn't very nice. That's a boring story. So, we land in Texas. I'm wide awake. I haven't slept a wink. I decide I'm going to go into the terminal. I'm going to grab some food and then get back on the plane before it takes off. So I get out into the aisleway. She's just waking up. It takes her a minute. By the time she gets her stuff together, she's directly behind me while we're waiting for the front door to open when I felt it. And it wasn't my stomach hurts. It was this is God letting me get my revenge for the way I was treated a couple hours ago. And even then I was like, I shouldn't do it. What if it makes a sound? Everyone's going to know it was me. Plus, the power of the plane had been turned off, so the air wasn't circulating anymore. So there were going to be a lot of civilian casualties. You know, like some serious collateral damage. But it was all I could think of. It wasn't like I could call someone for a better idea. It was either going to be that story or none. So, right? I threw it out there. You couldn't hear it. I just want you and those listening at home to know when it happened during the story. And thank God you couldn't hear it, because it was awful. It was unacceptable, I'll say it. There were people in front of me turning around like they might be able to see it in the air. It was that mother of God. And I played off like a champ. The doors are still closed, folks, okay? I wanted to turn around and see if she was making a face, but there's no way I could have done without laughing, because I am standing there like, I won. You know, the war is over. Clearly I'm the victor, right? And that's how I felt. But the rule is, when you're a comedian, you're not the only one who's allowed to think it's funny. You have to have verification from someone who isn't a comedian to tell you that you made the right call. So once I got into the terminal, and she baked in it for like a good 6 or 7 minutes. I mean, it wasn't like a one and done. I mean, it was marination. I get in the terminal, I call my best friend back in Cincinnati. It was 4:30 in the morning. Now I knew I'd wake him up. I was like, hello. I was like, dude, sorry I woke you. I just thought you might want to know. Not 5 minutes ago, I farted on Jessica Simpson. And from a sound sleep, he's like, dude, that's awesome. I was like, see, that's all I needed to hear. If you felt that way at 4:30, think how much fun it's on my noon. 2 weeks later, she's doing Proactive Solution commercials. That's all I'm trying to say. You guys have been an amazing crowd. Thank you so much.
Sirius XM's Comedy Central Radio.
Hey, it's me, Sebastian Maniscalco. If you're fed up or confused as I am, tune into the Sebastian Maniscalco Show. Every week, me and my longtime friend Pete Corielli get into it. Catch brand new episodes premiering every Tuesday, replays throughout the week on my exclusive Sirius XM station, Sebastian Maniscalco's Comedy Radio. What channel do you answer? And on the Sirius XM app.
Hey everybody, it's John Stewart. Here to remind you, tune in weekly to my podcast, The Weekly Show. John Stewart, you can get it wherever you get your podcast. You may say to me, are you sure it's wherever I get my podcast? Almost positive. Unless you're getting your podcast on the black market. I don't know that we're available.
You're good on this badge. All right, man. You know, I have a feeling this badge is gonna cramp my style something terrible. Better bring their horses going up through this pass. We still got a good ride ahead. How far? Oh, about 10 miles.
DWP, to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hi, it's Chris Riccobono, founder of Untuckit. 15 years, 15 million shirts sold, and we're still the best in the game. Which means Untuckit also has the best gifts for Father's Day, now on sale. He'll love to unwrap wrinkle-free cotton to save him time in the morning, performance stretch styles he never has to iron, polos for golf, and more. All perfect for the summer. Shop our Father's Day sale going on or at one of our 80-plus stores nationwide. Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked.
This hour of Comedy Central Radio on Sirius XM is brought to you by Progressive. Get a commercial truck insurance quote in as little as 8 minutes. Visit progressivecommercial.com.
Sirius XM's Comedy Central Radio.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I had the stage set up very precisely for the maximum CD recording. That's it for that sentence. Once I start the clock, then the show really starts. The show officially starts right effing as soon as you sit down. The show officially starts right now. Dating is difficult. Black people and white people are different. Also, airplane food is unacceptable. Yes! That's 3 jokes in 5 seconds. This is awesome. That's a very high LPM. A lot of laughs per minute on the CD.
I went to an all-boys school, and I'm not sure you ever really get over that. You know, to some level, for the rest of my life, every time I walk into a room, I'm like, hey, oh, girls, oh, what do you do, what do you do? You draw a penis on there. No, you don't draw a penis. Single-sex schools are so weird, they're all so barbaric about them, you know? It annoys me a lot when people go, yeah, but academically, boys and girls do much better when they're kept apart. Oh, yeah. What's more important, getting a C in history or being able to relate to 50% of the world's population? I'll leave you with a song. This is a love song. You can take it right down. I just heard about him today. From your friend who thought I knew. And you know, yeah, it's great that you've been able to move on so fast. But I have another question for you. What has this prick got that I haven't got? Oh, he works in a bookshop. people read them for free. Oh, he's got a Vespa. He's got one of those fancy imported Italian scooters. I've got a car. At least I think he's got a Vespa. He's sitting on one of the picture of him I found on the internet. I've got a few questions about him. Does he have conversational French? No. Neither do I, but I have the accent, and that's the hard part. How's his parking? You know how good my parking is. In from the front, in from the back, makes no odds. Why would you throw all of this away? Has he ever written you a song? I've written you millions of the pricks. This one's a bad example. You just can't see that I've changed. I'm basically a completely different guy who just happens to look the same, with the same voice and the same name. But there the similarity ends. I'm into new things now, like dancing and salad and tidying and feelings. The only thing he has that I don't have is you. Thank you very much.
SiriusXM Comedy Central Radio.
I can't breathe water. I'm not a literal merman. Kick-ass choking comedy of Eugene Merman. I've always wanted to play a musical instrument and tell jokes on stage. And I've also always really wanted to play a theremin. And I was like, I'm going to combine these two dreams and play a theremin while telling jokes. So let me go get my theremin. This is the theremin I was telling you guys about. Let's see if it works. Yep. If you ever have the chance, definitely go through airport security with this. They're always like, what is it? And I'm like, I don't know. A friend gave it to me. All I know is it says for government use only. On the way here, as they always do, the TSA guy was like, what is it? And I don't know what you're allowed to joke about. And I was like, it's a mind control device. And then he tests it for whatever they test it, and he gives it back and he's like, it's okay. And I just kind of stare at him and he goes, unless it's telling me to say that. Yeah. You can joke about sci-fi weapons at the airport, haha. All right, let me try telling some jokes about playing the theremin. Why is 9 afraid of 7? Because 7 ate a bunch of PCP and is going ape shit. If you really don't like someone, if you really don't like someone, buy them a pony, because you know what? Fuck you, take care of this pony. This is whales having sex. This is, of course, an impression of Kofi Annan after he ate maybe a bad sandwich with mayonnaise that went spoiled and he has food poisoning. Kofi Annan with food poisoning. Oh, I don't feel so good. I'm Kofi Annan. This last one, this is an impression of, this is me talking to an alien and explaining gay marriage to an alien, the debate in America. The alien is from a planet of 8 genders, and it takes only 3 genders to make a new being. So just the idea of marriage, gay marriage, the whole thing is culturally very confusing, this alien. And